Not sure if anybody's out there, but just thought I'd come on for a little bit chat. I forgot to put the writing up on my laptop before I started, so I'm going to have to be leaning forward like this to read if anybody puts any comments on. But I'm just sitting here doing a little bit of knitting. Thought I'd go live for a while because I haven't been live for quite a while, actually. Probably about 5 or 6 weeks, I think, something like that. Do a little bit of Tommy sweater while I'm here. Don't usually tell anybody when I'm going to come on live. I just come on spec to see if there's anybody out there that wants a little chat. I've just been for a walk over to my post office and posting a parcel off, so now I'm sitting down having a cup of tea and want to do a little bit of knitting. Been a nice sunny day and cold, but I thought it was going to be cold when I walked over to the post office, but it was quite nice in the sun actually. And I checked on my phone because I have that, don't know what you call it, I'll get my phone and have a look, see how many steps you've done. Pedometer, I think it's something like that it's called. Pedometer, yes, that's it, pedometer. Oh yes, I did 2,196 steps walking to the post office. And sees 3,000 steps is good if you can do that in a day. Well, that's 2,196, and the odd times I've walked around the house with the phone in my hand, that'll be 1 or 2 steps as well. At least we've got better weather, so it's a better light, and I don't have to put my ring light behind the laptop. Usually I've got to put the ring light to make it a good light, because it's always, even during the day, like in the winter months, it's dark in my living room unless the sun shines, which is doing that today. I'll probably not get many people coming on because I haven't told anybody I was coming on yet. I should do really, but I thought I'd just leave it up to anybody that happens to see the notifications if they want to talk. Oh, that's another one. There's 2 watching anyway. I don't know who they are. You have to make a comment for us to know who you are. 3. I'm hoping to get this little cardigan finished. Well, it's not a cardigan. I keep calling it a cardigan. It's a sweater. It's for one of my little great grandsons, a 5-year-old Tommy, and I just thought I'm going to keep at it until I finish it because it'll not take as long. I've already got the nearly done the back. The last time I did a sweater the same colour for the 2.5-year-old, and I used a pattern. Some patterns I've had for a long time, and I just didn't like the shape. The sleeves came out. It's a set-in sleeve because I want the cable pattern up the front to go up the shoulder, up to the shoulders. So instead of doing a raglan, I just did a set-in sleeve, and I followed the pattern to the letter, and it just looked terrible, the sleeves and that. So I usually write out my own patterns, and that's what I'm doing with this one. I'm just making it up as I go along. So I've knit 12.5 inches up to the armhole, and I'm going to do another 5.5 inches from the armholes up to the neck. So that's how I've worked this one out up to now. I've got the heating on in my house, and my hands are sweating when I'm knitting, and it's hard to knit when your hands are sweating. Yeah, my cup of tea. But I thought I've sat the last, it must be about the last 5 weeks, something like that, knitting. I had a couple of orders for adult size cardigans, and I've just done nothing else but sit down and knit morning, noon, and night. And I think my legs needed some exercise actually. So I was doing some exercises in the house the other day, moving my knees up and down and all that, and now my legs are aching. But you've got to keep up the exercises. I'll have to go out and go for a few more walks, I think. And keep at my age, you need to keep your legs working. I've got to go next Sunday morning for my second COVID jab. And that'll be all sorted for that once I go and get that done. And I'm getting the Pfizer one, where I've heard about the AstraZeneca one. I don't think I would have wanted that one. So I'm glad I got the Pfizer one the first time, because they give you the same one the second time. That's another row nearly done. Oh, I'll get this one finished without much trouble, I think. I finished orders that I was doing so I can get back to knitting some of my own stuff. I've got that much wool in the house. I just buy it when I see it, when I want it, and I could do with knitting a lot of it up actually. Like. I think I might have to turn my heating off for a while. The sun's blaring into my living room here, and it's making it really a bit warmer than I want it. That's the only trouble. What about a week ago? Just over a week ago, I had some lovely warm weather. Well, quite mild, warmish. And all of a sudden it went back to freezing again. It was snowing yesterday. I was driving to my granddaughter's yesterday. I go there every Sunday, and the wipers were like this on the window to keep the snow off. And we're into April. Didn't lie, like it just kept coming on and off and then disappeared. But we've had a few frosty nights because I was going to start bringing some seedlings out into my garden for flowers and things, but I thought better of it with the way the weather suddenly changed. This may be a bad time of day for anybody, I think. I think there's that many people do on YouTube do lives now that you don't know whether they're going to clash with somebody else. Somebody else might be doing a one. And because I've got quite a few subscribers myself that do lives, and I've noticed they're always coming up on notification things that somebody's doing a live. Cup of tea. Somebody's typing. I knew I should have turned the writing up on my laptop. I'm going to have to lean forward to say, oh, Munib Taj. Well done, Mum. Well, hello, Munish, to you. First comment, anyway. I've got to have a lot of subscribers, and I don't know who half of them are because I don't see all the names unless they make their subscription public. So there's a lot of people that put comments on things I don't even realise are one of my subscribers, because we don't know who's subscribed to you and who hasn't unless they do it public. And I'm very happy for this month. I've been monetised since the beginning of March, and I've had my first month's earnings gone into my AdSense account. And I just have to wait. I'm just waiting till I verify my my bank account details, and then they'll be sending it into my account. And it's not bad for the first month. I don't know what happens after that. If I'm getting a regular payment every month like that, I'll have to go onto this HMRC thing and declare self-employment. I think you have to do something like that. I'm not sure, because it's a long time since I retired, so I don't know what you do work days these days. I think that's what happens when you get monetised. I think you're classed as self-employed. So you have to declare your earnings. I would have to make an awful lot before I pay any tax on it. I think I'll give this a little measure and see what size it is. It's only 3.5 inches. A little bit more to go to get up to the shoulders. And see my cup, everybody. Knitting keeps me from unravelling. It keeps a lot of people from unravelling since this lockdown started. But it's not so bad today because they're starting to open up a lot of the shops. If you're not in this country where you've been in a lockdown since just after Christmas, and they're just starting to open things up again. We've got the non-essential shops and salons, nail salons and hairdressers and things like that are starting to open up from today. So that'll be a little bit better, because I do a lot of, I'm seeing I do a lot of knitting and that, and but the last cardigan I knit, I wasn't sure whether I'd have enough buttons for it. And the last time I ordered buttons, I ordered them from Amazon, and it took them 2 weeks. 2 weeks to send them to me. And I could do it with some more, with the same colour. At least I can go to the shops now and have a look and buy them in the shops now instead of having to order them in Amazon. Because I couldn't just go anywhere. There was the likes of the shops that sold things like that, buttons, they were all shut. You had to go rely on places like the food places, that whether they sold anything like that. An odd one or two do, but it looks like little Tommy might have his sweater the next time I go down to see him, my granddaughter's. I have another one to knit after this, because I've done a cardigan for the younger one, a grey cardigan, and I was going to do one for Tommy as well, the one I'm knitting this sweater for. So I'll probably try and get that done as well, because I have got one or two orders for people where I'm waiting for the measurements of people before I can start on them, so I can do a little bit knitting here myself. No, I need another ball. You're running out. Get to the end of this row and get another ball out. Put this one in there. Got the knitting on the floor. I'm glad I remember to plug the router cable into my computer the day, because if I go live without that, it's terrible, the pixelation. And even though I've got Sky Fibre broadband, I must be too far from the place where the thing comes from, because I always get a very bad reception. And when YouTube processes the video after it's finished, it's usually very blurry and pixelated and all that, unless I put the cable from the router to my laptop. There's people watching, but nobody's talking. Well, it doesn't say it's any of the body that subscribed to me, like they might have just caught it on YouTube. Do you know, when you're a pensioner like me, you've got nothing else to do, but because I'm a widow as well, so I'm just sitting here at home with nothing much else to do. That's why I'm sitting knitting and going onto YouTube and looking for somebody to talk to. Well, at least the pubs are opening up again here. They've been closed since Christmas as well. At least we can have a. We can't sit inside the pubs. We'll have to sit outside. And I'm going to a meeting up with a lot of friends on Wednesday night, and we have a bingo night. They're putting a marquee up outside the pub, and we'll have heaters there to keep us warm, because it's not going to be very warm, over night time. Once the sun goes down, it's cold. And I hope it's not windy, or we're sitting there with bingo sheets and that, they're going to be blown all over the place. Have I got enough of that to go across the row? I think so. Before I start on the new ball. So I haven't done my bingo night for, it was long before Christmas. And I used to go with my friend, and we were always lucky. And whenever we used to win, we always shared whatever we won. And I think most of the time we went, it didn't cost us anything because we were always winning. I think I'll have to come on some other time to find the people. Usually the ladies I usually talk to on YouTube when I go live. Oh, I'll give them a few more minutes. It's only been, just coming up to 25 minutes of being on. I could tell one or two little stories, but I'm just talking to myself, so it's a waste of time. Oh, I've got just enough for that row. It's got a chance, that. I think I might put my telly on instead and see what's on the telly to watch. Yes, I think I'm going to have to start putting a little post up and telling people I'm going to go live. So unless they're on their computer and that, most people won't know anyway. Well, in their computers and their phones and their iPads. Mine's not an iPad, it's a Samsung. I finished my cup of tea. I'll have to think up some of my little stories to tell next time I come on, and stories about when I was a kid and that, which was a long time ago. The life I had when I was a kid is a hell of a lot different to what the life is for the kids these days. We used to go out to play in the morning when we were kids, and my parents, well, mother never used to know where we were half of the time. We used to go out in the morning, and it used to be tea time before we came back again. Not like today. I think the mothers are afraid to let the kids out to play these days. Me cup of tea. It was getting cold down. Keep picking my hairs up and my knitting. Yeah, and I think about all the games that we used to play when we were kids. We always found something to entertain ourselves when we were kids. There was no such thing as technology. In my day, I'm talking about in the 1950s, because I was born in the 40s. I didn't even have a television till I was about 11 years old, I don't think. Yes, I remember I was 11 years old when my parents got our first television. And there was very little on, there was nothing on during the day. And I used to sit and 10:30 at night and watch the little dot go off the television. Nothing like all the series, all the different series and everything they have these days. Well, they're very limited in my day when the television was new then. Yeah, I think everybody is either be at work, working, or busy shopping, or it's with all the shops opening. Probably everybody's probably been dashing out to look around the shops. I haven't been able to look around for a long time. That's probably where everybody is. I'll probably do that later on in the week. I'll probably go out to do my weekly shopping one day and then have a look around the other shops and see what I've missed for the last few weeks. Let's see if anybody's been emailing. Is the email? Well, I think I'm going to call this a day. I've been on half an hour and there's been nobody come on to chat, so I think I'm going to end the stream come back on another time, maybe later.